All right, I'm going to call you back together just to kind of stay and keep rolling. This is a conversation, though, that I would challenge you. This is a conversation you need to have with your coach as you get together with your coach. This is a conversation where when you find one or two folks in your group where you go, you're kind of dancing with me a little bit, these are the conversations you want to have with those people in your group going, how do we start then living out the rhythms in this group of connecting to God, connecting to each other, being in every neighborhood together, and then starting to go, how do we start to foster this as a movement now? But it will always take you as the initiator. So say you go, well, man, it would be great to see us sharing participation in these ways. Well, if you start from day one just delegating everything out and they haven't watched you with passion lead in certain areas, that's hard, right? But as you're doing it with them, as they watch you being passionate about these things, like Serve Day is a perfect example. We've in years past said, hey, we want your group to do Serve Day. And a lot of leaders will go, I want to share participation. So they bring it out to the group and they're like, what should we do, right? And then it's 5 weeks of brainstorming about like Serve Day and what should we do for Serve Day? Well, a lot of times they need to see you dance missionally a little bit. What are you passionate about? What are you going to go start dancing about in your neighborhood and go, hey, group, help me. Come be about this with me. Next time we talk, then it's going to be, hey, let's go dance together somewhere, right? But for now, just join me. And so you might have to lead out a little bit awkwardly in some certain areas, and it might not, because some of you have a bent, especially if you're a harmonizer like me, like I want consensus all the time, right? Let's all be about this together. Well, for me, the challenge is I've got to dance a little more by myself sometimes and go, join me, come with me. We're going to go here first, and then you'll learn how to dance with me. For those of you who are achiever persisters, you need to allow some other people to share your grass, right? Like you have a way you like things done. Anytime you have people participate with you, they're not going to dance the same way you dance, right? Did anyone dance the same up there? No. And if the guy was a achiever persister, the first guy, he'd have been like, no, it's like this, you know? And so he would have been like, learn my moves if you're going to join me, okay? And so you've got to know, again, who you are and again, gravitate to the other side and learn how to, your own DNA as a leader, okay? The other 3 areas that I want to just give you quickly, you might want to write these down, that you really need to embody this DNA of being an initiator for the benefit of others. The first one is this. It's that you need to be the initiator of care. Brad talked about this, that you really are, we view you as life group leaders as the first line of care in our church, the first and primary line of care. Now, on a bad day, you as a life group leader hear that and you go, man, there's 20 people in my life group, and how in the world am I going to care for the needs of 20 people in my life group? Well, if you view yourself as dancing alone, that's exactly how you're going to view it, right? But the goal is care happens in your life group. How does that happen? So how do you start to think of it bigger and go, how do we create a dance movement in a sense of where we're caring for one another in our life group? And so that may mean you're splitting people up into smaller groups. You're creating prayer partners. You're going, hey, somebody had a baby. Who's our organized person that can do meals and organize everything, and so that we're bringing meals for this person? Your goal is to be an initiator, right? Does it mean you do everything? No. But it means you need to dance and you need to take initiative for the benefit of others in the area of care, right? So huge sin issue comes out in your group and you go, man, we need to enter into this. Does that mean you're a professional counselor? No, but it means you need to take initiative, right? And it may mean you need to bring in resources. It may mean you need to call your campus pastor. It may mean we bring along the counseling center. Awesome, right? That's being the church. But it needs to come as an initiative from you as a life group leader, right? And we're the body, right? So the more you can view your life group as a body rather than a leader and then followers, you're a body. And so in the body, God has all these giftings sitting around the table from you, sitting around your living room from you. And the more you start to see and utilize those for care in your group, the more your group feels like a movement rather than one person leading care in your group. The other one is to be an initiator of both the gathered and the scattered. And we use this language around here rather often about our scatterings being our life groups, right? We are the church. You hear it every Sunday, right? Go be the church. We're the church in our homes, in our workplace, in our smaller gatherings, our life groups, but also corporately on a Sunday morning when we gather together. The more that our gatherings feel like celebrations of our scatterings, the better. You're going to hear this in the next season. We're trying to bleed everything together more than we have in the past. So this summer, you've been hit up a lot as life group leaders to go, hey, would you be willing to on a Sunday be up in front to pray with people that wanted prayer? Would you be willing to help in group signups or whatever it is. So the more that you, in a sense, bleed the DNA of going, my goal is to help people connect to God and to each other in every neighborhood. And I know that Sunday mornings has a point of helping people celebrate what God is doing in our lives throughout the week. And so it's also a point where people can get connected into life groups as well. So for you to be willing to pray with folks, for you to be willing to help connect new people, even not to your group, but for you to know the people around your table to go, you know what, group you'd be awesome for that group. Let me help you get connected. But as we're a group of like leaders together, that's powerful, because then it's not so-and-so up here in the front going, hey, you should get in groups. Then it's that person in that corner of the sanctuary, this person here going, hey, you guys got to jump in life groups. The point isn't life groups. The point is to be in spiritual forming community. Are you in spiritual forming community? Let's do this. We weren't meant to do this alone. So you got to bleed it. And when you bleed it, you're an initiator that helps people join a movement versus just a dance alone. So you need to be an initiator of that. The other thing with that too is allowing your group to see Sunday morning as an opportunity to connect. A lot of times we see our life group as a one-time event. What if you saw a life group, say on a Thursday night, as an opportunity? Sure, to connect to God, to each other in every neighborhood. But what if Sunday became an opportunity for that as well, where it's like, hey, let's meet, but let's serve together on a Sunday. I know a lot of groups do First Touch all together, and they are the most welcoming groups in the world, right? Why? Because they're connected people that are helping new people connect. Doesn't mean they're connecting to their group, but they're an infectious group of people. And they serve on a Sunday morning, and it's an opportunity for them to get to know one another as well. Some of them serve in kids' connections. Some of them are on worship together. But to see that, and they'll sit together in a cluster, but never an exclusive cluster. It's just a chance to worship together and then to invite others to worship with them. So see Sunday morning as an opportunity, or Sunday night, or whenever you go to a service. The fourth is an initiator of a growth mindset. And I'll go through this one quickly. Brad hit on this one as well, which was huge. If you have from the get-go in a new group the mindset of, you know what, it's going to be these 5 people or these 10 people and no more, and I'm holding on and I'm insulating and I'm grabbing hold of everybody, your group will catch that from you. If you have the mindset that says, God is doing stuff, and I don't know what he wants to do, but I know that healthy things grow, and the church is a movement, and you know, at some point, God may raise up one of you to want to start your own group because you have a passion for your neighborhood or your workplace or whatever it is, and for you to lay that out in the beginning, it creates a standard that says, we're going to be open to the movement of God. He may have somebody in your life that you want to bring to this group, whatever that may be. We want to be open to that. If you dance in that direction, if you start dancing that way, it invites everyone to follow you. If you don't, people won't. And then it becomes very difficult. Say you get a passion later on and you're like mining for new life group leaders because we say, hey, you know, is there a new person in your, or a person in your group that has showed leadership ability that might want to start their own life group? You throw it out there and everyone's like, why would we do that? Why would we ever grow? Because this is powerful what we have. And so just an example, in our own life group, we've been through 2 times now where we call it multiplying into, multi-siting, right? It's kind of like the Southeast campus, right? If FIG had said, you know what, no, we like these people. They don't like us anyway, I'm just kidding. But if they had said, we want to keep these people here, well, I think there's a neighborhood in Southeast Fresno that it's going to be amazing to have a campus of the Well in for new people to be able to come. But FIG could have said, no, we need to keep these folks here and hold on to them for a season to come because we like the relationships, and there's a loss every time new people leave, right? But what they've allowed and what we've said at the Well is there's always new room for people. There's always a growth that can happen. And so for your group and for you as a leader to lead from that way right away. Now that can look in a myriad of ways. In our group, it led with a person who works at Sanger High School going, I want to bring my neighbors or folks in my life, and there's not room anymore, and I'm not okay with that. And so we had to be willing to go, okay, then what do we do? So 2 of us couples left, started another group. Well, we've run that one for a year now, and then there's another couple in there, a young couple that said, you know what, I really want to connect with some young couples in our neighborhood, and I think there's a need. Are we good? Can we go? Can we lead? Absolutely, right? So they went and grabbed one other couple, and they multi-sided, and they went and led, and now they're leading a group, or starting up a group in Southeast Fresno. Powerful, right? But it can look a myriad of ways. And so what I like about what Brad said is it's not one size fits all of how growth happens, but are you as a leader going to be open to it? Are you going to be an initiator of allowing for that kind of a dance to happen in your group? So those are 4 ways that I want to challenge you. If you don't own those DNAs, it just won't happen in your group. So allowing people to participate, be an initiator of care, having this growth mindset, and then using Sunday morning, the gathering, as an opportunity and seeing yourself as a vital role in it. Those things are huge. All right? Well, we're going to take about a 10-minute break here. So why don't you come back with us at 10:50, and then we're going to roll on into the next piece of the training.